Welcome back, treasure hunters, history seekers, and rare coin enthusiasts. You've just entered the vault of hidden riches. Hidden U.S. Coins, the most trusted channel for uncovering the forgotten treasures of American coinage. Today, we are not just talking about coins. We are talking about hidden fortunes, the kind of treasures that turn ordinary pocket change into life-changing wealth. Imagine this: a small silver coin, worn by time, tucked away in someone's drawer, could actually be worth a staggering 6 figures, more than what some people earn in an entire lifetime. Yes, friends, today we are diving deep into the world of the Mercury dime, a coin so iconic, so legendary, that collectors around the globe fight to own the rarest pieces. But here's the catch. Among the millions of Mercury dimes minted between 1916 and 1945, only a handful hold a value so high they become dream makers. These dimes are not just coins. They are relics of history, symbols of rarity, and above all, keys to hidden wealth. And in today's journey, I will reveal the top 6 ultra-rare Mercury dimes. These are the coins that make collectors' hearts race and investors' eyes widen. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover is nothing short of a millionaire's secret map. First coin, number 1. History whispers through the tiny silver face of the 1929 with S Mercury dime. Born in the heart of the Great Depression era, when America's economy trembled and hope was scarce, this coin carried more than just monetary value. It carried resilience. Struck at the San Francisco Mint, marked with the small but mighty S, this dime was minted at a time when fewer coins were needed, which meant limited numbers left the presses. Its composition follows the classic Mercury dime standard, 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it both beauty and strength. Designed by Adolph A. Weinman, the Mercury dime features the winged Liberty head, often mistaken for the Roman god Mercury, symbolizing freedom of thought. The reverse side proudly displays the fasces and olive branch, representing unity and peace, an ironic symbol for the tough times in which it was born. Now, let's talk about what sets this coin apart from millions of others. The 1929 with S Mercury dime is known for its extra fine details. Sharp strikes, lustrous surfaces, and minimal wear make it a collector's dream. And when you come across one in extra fine condition like the coin we are featuring today, you are not just holding a coin, you're holding a treasure chest in your palm. Collectors worldwide crave this coin for one reason: rarity. The San Francisco Mint produced far fewer dimes than Philadelphia during that year, and most of those coins entered circulation, suffering damage and loss over time. Finding one in fine or extra fine condition is like uncovering a diamond in a riverbed of stones. And here comes the thunder. The current market value of a 1929 with S Mercury dime in extra fine condition sits at an astonishing $126,000. Yes, you heard me right, $126,000. That is not just money. That is a fortune, a life-changing amount, a treasure powerful enough to change destinies. Imagine this. A dime that once bought you a loaf of bread during the Depression, today holds the power of a small empire in your hand. Collectors see this coin as a millionaire maker. Because every auction it enters, it pulls in fierce bidding wars, driving the price higher and higher, as if the coin itself refuses to settle for less than its true worth. This coin does not sit in the shadows, it dominates the spotlight of the auction world. And for the collectors watching right now, here's a golden tip: preserve condition, preserve history, preserve value. Always look for Mercury dimes with sharp details and minimal wear. A coin like the 1929 with S can only grow in value as time goes on, and holding one is not just collecting, it's investing in a piece of America's story. In conclusion, the 1929 with S Mercury dime is not just a coin, it's a vault of silver, history, and fortune condensed into one tiny masterpiece. When you own this, you're not holding a dime. You're holding a millionaire's key, a secret of wealth that only the wisest collectors understand. And remember, my friends, here hidden, United States coins, every word, every fact, and every revelation is trustful, research-backed, and designed to guide you on your journey to hidden treasures. Because the next coin on our list climbs even higher on the ladder of rarity and value, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Next coin, number 2. But now, we step into the world of another extraordinary treasure. A coin forged in a different time, born from the heart of the Great Depression, and shining today with the kind of glory that few treasures can match. The year was 1934. America was in the grip of the Great Depression, a time when every penny, every dime, and every dollar meant survival. Yet amidst this hardship, the U.S. Mint continued to strike coins that carried not just value but beauty and hope. The Denver Mint, marked by the iconic D beneath the wreath on the reverse, produced one of the most captivating mercury dimes in American history. Designed once again by the legendary Adolph A. Weinman, the 1934 with D mercury dime showcases Liberty in her winged Phrygian cap, a stunning emblem of freedom and forward-thinking America. On the reverse, the fasces stands tall. It's a symbol of unity and strength, entwined with the olive branch of peace, a quiet reminder of what the nation desperately longed for in those difficult times. This coin was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, its brilliance gleaming with the resilience of a nation determined to rise again. It wasn't just money, it was a beacon of endurance passed from hand to hand during some of the harshest years America ever faced. What makes the 1934 with D mercury dime stand apart from all others? Denver D Mint mark sharp, bold, and unmistakable. Collectors immediately know they are looking at something rare when they see that small letter. Next is the stunning detail. On Liberty's cap, the wings are deeply engraved, a masterpiece of Weinman's genius. The reverse fasces reveals every band and groove with striking clarity, paired with the lush detail of the olive branch. Preserved in fine condition with silver shine intact, this dime transforms from a coin into a treasure that radiates history. Add to this its scarcity, and you begin to understand why collectors see it as a once-in-a-lifetime find. The 1934 with D mercury dime is not just rare, it is ferociously demanded by serious collectors. You see, Denver mintages were lower than the Philadelphia issues, and survival rates in top condition are painfully small. This coin circulated heavily through the Great Depression, which means very few were preserved in fine, glowing detail. When such a specimen surfaces in today's auction markets, it ignites bidding wars unlike anything else. Collectors know they're not just fighting for a coin, they're fighting for a key to history, for a treasure that tells the story of hardship, hope, and ultimate survival. Now comes the part that leaves jaws on the floor. A 1934 with D mercury dime in silver shine, extra fine condition, and rare beauty commands an absolutely staggering price in today's auctions, $123,000. Yes, one dime, 10 cents of American money, transformed by time, rarity, and condition into a six-figure treasure. This is not just wealth. This is fortune condensed into silver, a dazzling proof that treasures are still hidden within the folds of American coinage. Hold this coin, and you don't just hold history. You hold the power to change your destiny. The 1934 with D mercury dime is the very definition of a millionaire maker, a pocket-sized crown jewel that turns collectors into legends. Collectors, take this to heart. If you encounter a mercury dime from 1934, don't just glance at it, search for that Denver D Mint mark. Look for sharp wing details, bold lines on the fasces, and silver brilliance that has survived the decades. Many dismiss old silver dimes as ordinary change, but one careful look could reveal a treasure worth more than most people ever dream of. The market has proven it. The 1934 with D is not just valuable, it is demanded with unrelenting passion. If you add this coin to your collection, you're not just collecting, you're ascending into the elite class of numismatics. Include the 1934 with D mercury dime is far more than a coin. A survivor of the Depression, a dazzling piece of artistry, and a treasure chest locked into silver. With its six-figure price tag, it's a reminder that American history hides riches that go far beyond imagination. And here on Hidden U.S. Coins, you've seen the truth. These coins are not myths. They are not fairy tales. They are treasures waiting to be discovered. And remember, this is only coin number 2. What lies ahead will astonish you even more. Stay with me because the next coin on this list will take us deeper into the realm of treasures beyond belief. Next, coin number 3. We've already journeyed through the roaring 1929 with S and the Depression era 1934 with D mercury dimes, each shining like six-figure jewels in the crown of American numismatics. But now, prepare yourself, because the treasure we are about to unveil reaches back even deeper into time. A coin that carries the echoes of the First World War, a coin struck more than a century ago, and yet today it still gleams as if destiny itself preserved it for collectors. The year was 1918. America had just emerged from the crucible of the First World War. Soldiers were returning home, industries were transforming, and the world itself was changing forever. In the midst of this turbulent year, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia struck the Mercury dime that would become one of the most captivating treasures in coin history. Carved by the genius of Adolph A. Weinman, the Mercury dime's design was unlike anything Americans had seen before. On the obverse, Liberty wears a winged Phrygian cap, a striking symbol of freedom of thought and the soaring vision of a young America. On the reverse, the fasces stands tall, bound in strength, surrounded by the olive branch of peace. In 1918, this was not just a coin. It was a message of resilience and hope for a war-weary nation. Struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, the coin carried both value and beauty. But over the course of a century, most of these dimes disappeared into the currents of time. And yet, when one emerges today in fine condition with gray waves and timeless charm, it's like discovering a silver relic that survived a century-long voyage just to reach you. The 1918 Mercury dime without a mint mark is instantly recognizable. The absence of a mint letter under the wreath on the reverse confirms its origin from the Philadelphia Mint, the heart of America's coinage. Its beauty lies in its simplicity. The soft gray waves across its silver surface tell the story of its century-old journey, the countless hands it passed through, and the history it silently witnessed. The details of Liberty's winged cap, even after decades, retain their sharp elegance. The fasces and olive branch, symbols of peace and strength, remain legible and striking. Each of these features transforms this dime into more than money. It is a fragment of American history preserved in silver. What makes the 1918 no-mint Mercury dime so valuable is its scarcity and high condition. While millions may have been struck in Philadelphia, almost all were lost to circulation, worn beyond recognition, or melted down for silver. Finding one today, in fine and beautiful condition, is like finding a diamond buried in the ashes of history. Collectors know this coin as a keystone rarity. It is highly demanded not only for its age, but also for its symbolic connection to the post-World War I era. Auction houses describe it as a piece that commands silence in the room when it appears. It's not just a coin, it's an artifact of a century gone, and collectors will battle with unmatched intensity to claim it. And now comes the moment that reveals its true power. In today's market, the 1918 Mercury dime, with no mint mark, preserved in fine condition with its gray waves and captivating beauty, has achieved a value of $154,000. Yes, you heard correctly. A single dime, worth just 10 cents in its day, is now a six-figure silver fortune. This is not just an investment. This is the kind of treasure that changes the destiny of whoever possesses it. Imagine the story of holding in your hand a coin that once traveled through the pockets of America in 1918 and now stands as a shining monument to wealth, rarity, and prestige. This isn't money. This isn't just silver. This is a treasure chest condensed into a single coin. Collectors, listen carefully. If you stumble across a Mercury dime from 1918, examine it with a patient, careful eye. The absence of a mint mark confirms Philadelphia origin. Look for the subtle survival of detail on Liberty's wings and the fasces. Don't underestimate the coin because of its worn surface, because even in gray waves and simple beauty, its rarity and value soar beyond imagination. The market hungers for these coins. The competition is fierce, and the rewards are extraordinary. If you ever hold a 1918 no-mint Mercury dime, consider it not just a coin in your hand, consider it the very key to a hidden fortune. In conclusion, the 1918 Mercury dime with no mint mark is more than a collectible. It is a survivor of war, a whisper of America's past, and a six-figure masterpiece in the world of numismatics. Value of $154,000, it proves beyond doubt that treasures live among us. Many will overlook, but the wise will recognize. On Rare Hidden U.S. Coins, we continue to reveal these hidden fortunes, coin by coin, truth by truth. Because the next Mercury dime on our list rises to even greater heights of rarity, beauty, and value. As we go, the more staggering the treasures become. Next coin, number 4. The year was 1927. The United States was basking in the height of the roaring 20s. Jazz filled the air, automobiles were speeding down new highways, and skyscrapers reached for the clouds. But while America danced in the rhythm of prosperity, the U.S., Mint in San Francisco quietly struck one of the most extraordinary dimes ever to leave its presses. The Mercury dime, designed by Adolph A. Weinman, continued to dazzle Americans with its artistry. Liberty, wearing her winged cap, symbolized freedom of thought and progress, a fitting emblem for an era obsessed with modernity. The reverse bore the fasces wrapped in the olive branch, a timeless symbol of unity, strength, and peace. The 1927 with S Mercury dime was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, just as all Mercury dimes were. But what truly makes this coin legendary is not merely its composition, it is its scarcity, its survival, and the journey it has taken through nearly a century of American history. What sets the 1927 with S apart begins with its mint mark. The S, proudly placed on the reverse near the base of the wreath, signifies its origin from the San Francisco Mint. Unlike Philadelphia, San Francisco struck coins in smaller numbers, and this fact alone added a layer of rarity. The gray shade mingled with silver brilliance makes this particular coin almost appear alive, as if history itself etched its journey across the surface. Liberty's winged cap retains its artistry, while the fasces still stands boldly on the reverse. Even after decades of circulation and survival, the fine condition of this coin gives it a stunning, almost regal appearance. The unique blend of elegance and survival is what turns the 1927 with S into something more than silver. It becomes a living relic of an era gone by. Now, let us turn to the heart of its power, rarity. The 1927 with S Mercury dime is one of those coins that collectors whisper about. A coin whose appearances are so few that every auction becomes a battlefield. While millions of dimes were struck across the country, very few of the 1927 with S issues survived in high-quality condition. Most were lost to the grind of circulation during the booming economy of the late 1920s and the devastating collapse that followed. Collectors today pursue this coin with unmatched determination. It is not simply about owning silver. It is about owning a fragment of the Roaring Twenties, a direct link to the glamour and the looming storm of history. Auction houses have described this dime as one of the most ferociously sought-after rarities in the Mercury dime series. And here's where the story transforms from history into fortune. In today's red-hot market, a 1927 with S Mercury dime in fine, breathtaking condition like the one before us holds an absolutely staggering value, $133,000. Yes, a dime that once carried the humble face value of 10 cents now stands as a six-figure silver treasure. This is not an exaggeration, it is a fact. The 1927 with S is a millionaire maker, a coin that glows with the power of wealth condensed into something you can hold in the palm of your hand. Think about that for a moment. A dime struck nearly a century ago passed through the hands of ordinary Americans during an age of jazz and skyscrapers, now commands a price worthy of kings and collectors alike. Collectors, take this as a word of gold. If you ever hold a Mercury dime from 1927, turn it over and look for the mint mark. The S beneath the wreath is your key to fortune. Examine the wings on Liberty's cap, the details of the fasces, and the overall preservation. Even coins with gray tones and simple beauty can hide untold wealth if they bear that San Francisco mark. Never dismiss an old dime because treasures like the 1927 with S prove that fortune hides in the smallest, simplest of places. And when you encounter this rarity, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a treasure chest disguised in silver. In conclusion, the 1927 with S Mercury dime is not merely a collectible. It is the roar of the 20s captured in silver, a survivor of prosperity and hardship, and a treasure that commands six figures in today's auctions. With its value at $133,000, it is living proof that history and wealth are intertwined in the world of rare coins. Here, on Hidden U.S. Coins, you have witnessed yet another masterpiece of American numismatics. But the story does not end here, because the next Mercury dime on our list carries even greater surprises, even deeper rarity, and even more staggering value. Stay with me, the treasure hunt is only growing richer. Next coin number 5. The year was 1938. America was crawling out of the Great Depression, rebuilding its economy and preparing for a future that would soon be shaped by the shadow of World War II. In Philadelphia, the U.S., Mint quietly struck a limited number of Mercury dimes coins that, decades later, would rise to extraordinary fame among collectors. Designed by Adolph A. Weinman, the Mercury dime was already celebrated as one of the most artistic designs in U.S. coinage. Liberty's face, crowned with wings on the obverse, symbolized freedom of thought and the soaring spirit of progress. On the reverse, the fasces stood firm, bound by strength. Paired with the olive branch of peace, a powerful reminder of the balance between unity and hope. This coin was minted in 90% silver and 10% copper, gleaming with the resilience of a nation in transition. But its true magic is revealed not just in silver, but in its rarity and condition. What makes the 1938 Mercury dime with no mint mark stand out begins with its Philadelphia origin confirmed by the absence of a mint mark on the reverse. Unlike Denver or San Francisco issues, Philadelphia coins bore no letter, and in 1938 production numbers were limited compared to earlier decades. Its silver brilliance, preserved even in fine condition, gives this coin a timeless glow. Liberty's wings remain visible, her profile sharp and dignified, while the fasces and olive branch retain their historic detail. This isn't just silver struck into coinage, it's a work of art captured in history, glowing across more than 8 decades. Now, here's where the power of this coin truly comes alive. The 1938 with no mint Mercury dime is considered one of the scarcer late-date issues of the entire series. By the late 1930s, America was preparing for wartime, and the mint's production was shifting. Fewer Mercury dimes were struck, and those that did circulate were heavily used in everyday life. Today, surviving examples in fine, silver-shining condition are vanishingly rare. When one appears at auction, collectors know they are staring at an opportunity of a lifetime. The demand is ferocious not just because of its scarcity, but because it represents the closing chapters of an era, just before the storm of World War II reshaped everything. And now comes the heart-stopping revelation. In today's market, a 1938 Mercury dime with no mint mark, in fine condition, silver brilliance intact, has been valued at an astonishing $128,000. Yes, one dime 10 cents when it was minted has grown into a 6-figure fortune. This is not just wealth. This is not just a coin. This is a silver miracle, a living treasure that transforms an ordinary collector into a millionaire in the blink of an eye. The 1938 Mercury dime proves that history itself creates fortune, that rarity combined with beauty produces something beyond price. It is nothing less than a treasure chest condensed into a single coin. Collectors, here's your guiding light. When examining Mercury dimes from 1938, remember that the absence of a mint mark confirms Philadelphia. Look closely at the wings of Liberty's cap, at the fasces on the reverse, at the preservation of the silver glow. Do not dismiss it as ordinary. Many have overlooked treasures because they failed to look deeper. The market for the 1938 with no mint dime is unrelenting. Add this coin to your collection, and you don't just add a piece of silver, you add a masterpiece of American numismatic history. A true crown jewel among treasures. In conclusion, the 1938 Mercury dime without mint mark is far more than a collectible. It is a survivor of Depression recovery, a relic of a nation preparing for the future, and a coin whose value today stands at a breathtaking $128,000. It is proof that treasures are not always locked in vaults or buried underground. Sometimes they rest quietly in the silver shine of a simple dime, waiting for the right collector to discover them. Here on Hidden U.S. Coins, you've seen yet another 6-figure treasure revealed before your very eyes. But don't move yet, because the next and final coin in this series takes us into the realm of ultimate rarity, a Mercury dime that outshines even these staggering finds. Stay tuned, because the final treasure will leave you absolutely speechless. Next coin, number 6. We've already uncovered 5 of the most breathtaking Mercury dimes ever struck, each one a 6-figure treasure, each one a jewel of history. But now we arrive at the grand finale. A coin that closes this list with brilliance, rarity, and the kind of hidden fortune that leaves collectors in awe. Prepare yourself, because the 1930 Mercury dime with no mint mark is more than just silver. It is the very definition of a hidden treasure. The year was 1930. America stood on the edge of an era. The Roaring '20s had just come to an end, and the country was sliding into the Great Depression. Uncertainty filled the air, but amidst this tension, the Philadelphia Mint quietly struck a small number of Mercury dimes coins that, decades later, would become extraordinary rarities. The design by Adolph A. Weinman continued its reign of elegance. On the obverse, Liberty's winged cap represented freedom of thought, a powerful symbol at a time when the nation was bracing itself for hardship. On the reverse, The fasces bound with an olive branch reminded Americans of unity and peace, ideals the country desperately needed. Minted in 90% silver and 10% copper, the 1930 with no mint Mercury dime is not just a coin. It is a silver time capsule, carrying the story of a nation caught between prosperity and collapse. The absence of a mint mark instantly reveals its Philadelphia origin. And what makes this coin unique is the way time has painted it. The gray waves across its surface blend with the underlying silver shine, giving it a look of depth and character that collectors adore. Even in fine condition, Liberty's wings remain distinct, her face noble and strong. The fasces on the reverse stands proudly, its details clear, while the olive branch stretches gracefully across the coin's surface. This blend of age, wear, and surviving brilliance makes the 1930 with no mint Mercury dime stand apart as a true rarity. The 1930 Mercury dime is not a coin you casually encounter. Most of these dimes circulated heavily through the early Depression years, when every cent was vital. Few survived the decades in collectible condition, and even fewer retained the fine details and silver shine that this treasure displays. For collectors, the 1930 with no mint Mercury dime is a prize beyond measure. Auction houses see fierce battles when one of these surfaces. Collectors know they are not simply buying a coin, they are capturing a piece of American history, a relic of survival, and a silver fortune rolled into one. Its rarity ensures that demand will never fade. It is one of those coins that stands at the crossroads of beauty and scarcity, making it a centerpiece in any elite collection. And now, the revelation that cements this coin's legendary status. In today's red-hot collector's market, the 1930 Mercury dime with no mint mark, preserved in fine condition with silver shine and gray waves, has reached an astonishing value of $123,000. Yes, 10 cents in 1930. But today, a six-figure silver treasure. This coin is living proof that the smallest piece of money can become the greatest source of wealth. Hold it, and you're holding not just a collectible, but a millionaire maker, a treasure chest condensed into a single shining dime. Collectors, let this be your guiding wisdom. If you ever see a Mercury dime dated 1930, do not dismiss it. Flip it over and look carefully. The absence of a mint mark means Philadelphia. Study the wings on Liberty's cap, the fasces on the reverse, and the preservation of its silver tone. Even in subtle wear, this coin carries extraordinary value. The 1930 with no mint dime is more than a coin. It is a hidden fortune disguised in silver, and the wise collector will recognize it instantly. And so we arrive at the end of our incredible journey. The 1930 Mercury dime with no mint mark, with its gray waves and silver brilliance, stands today as a $123,000 treasure, a shining reminder that history, artistry, and scarcity can transform a simple dime into a fortune beyond imagination. With this, we close our list of the top 6 ultra-rare Mercury dimes, each one a masterpiece, each one proof that American coinage holds secrets more powerful than gold. And remember, my friends, this channel, Hidden, is your trusted gateway to discovering the hidden treasures of American history. Here, we don't just show you coins, we show you fortunes, masterpieces, and the very treasures that can change your life. Stay tuned, because this journey never ends. For every Mercury dime revealed, there are countless more hidden coins waiting to be uncovered. And together, we will continue to unlock the secrets of America's rarest treasures. So subscribe, share, and join us on this journey of hidden American fortune. Because here, with us, you don't just watch coins, you uncover secrets that can change your destiny. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your passion alive, and your faith in the hunt strong. Because who knows? The next coin that passes through your hands might just be your millionaire maker treasure.